Starbucks, liquid bouginess, ranked 151st in terms of market cap because they blend your real and ideal life to say, you know what, I am him, with a lot of sugar. Just like the word frappuccino, this is a blend of a couple of things. The annual report, one of the more boring documents in the world, and me, something slightly more interesting. I'll cover what they do, their financials, a little SWOT analysis, and the new changes that the CEO wants to make to your local Starbucks. Years ago, Starbucks started as a place where you grab a coffee, take a seat, relax, get some work done. It was based off the Italian coffee bar that Howard Schultz saw on his trip to Italy. Over time though, grabbing your coffee right before heading out to work has become super popular. And after addicting everyone to caffeine over decades, Starbucks now has 40,000 stores. To grow, franchising is often super effective. But the thing is, you do lose that corporate family spirit as things move on. So unlike most companies, Starbucks owns a lot more of their stores. They don't really like middlemen, so they try to control everything from the top to the bottom. But don't be mistaken, they do still license. Top line in 2024 is $36.2 billion. That's up about 1%, which not great, but also realize people are cutting back on luxury items, especially this year. And apart from a decline in revenues in 2020, which, come on, let's cut them some slack there, it's been on the up due to an increasing number of stores and all the price bumps. The share of revenues that come from drinks is 74%, and I was surprised because I thought it was a much bigger slice of the pie. Food is 23%, which, are you guys okay? This is the iced lemon loaf, $5.55. 410 calories, and let me make sure I get this right, 36 grams of sugar. It does taste good, I'll give him that, but come on. Why are you spending an entire month worth of rent on something that is going to give you diabetes? I guess it's not that much for their ideal customer, you know, someone who's making around 90K, but unfortunately, not everyone makes that kind of money. But shame on you, yeah, I'm looking at you. How dare you not be rich? In all seriousness, Starbucks' stagnation is partly due to them not keeping up with the shifting trends, too much sugar, and too expensive. Less and less people want to buy a $30 coffee. Especially when you have other great alternatives. You have McDonald's and Dunkin' on the cheaper side. There's also the local cafe, and maybe even the good old Keurig thermos trick. Net income is down 9% from last year, and it's sending a pretty similar message, showing both a slight decline from its peak and just overall stagnation. Here's their performance compared to McDonald's and the S&P 500 index. The S&P is being carried by the giants at the top, while McDonald's and Starbucks have had it very rough in this economy. The Siren company does have a dividend yield of 2.42% and has a P/E ratio of 28 as of now. Looking at past performance isn't that relevant for the future, but looking at the factors that they have in their favor and against them is. Now get ready, because they have a lot of factors in their favor. Store counts on the up. They're up 5.7% this year. They also have a luxurious pricing point. There are not many companies who can charge rent money for burnt plants. Starbucks is known for having fantastic placement. When you're driving, you'd probably see at least a few on your way. They started their loyalty program early, like back in 2009, back when most companies didn't even have Wi-Fi in their stores. I'm just guessing about the Wi-Fi thing in 2009, but as far as I'm concerned, the internet was kind of useless and no one really had it until like 2010 when it actually became good, and I just don't want to double check that. I refuse to. Their app has always been incredible, and it's a free pipeline to advertise anytime for any reason. Starbucks gift cards are also extremely useful. Do you know why companies really love gift cards? Well, to them it's free money. And it's not just that the money you put on the card is going to have to be redeemed at their stores, but it's also the fact that around X% of the actual card balance is just never going to be spent at all. So literally free money. Weaknesses wise, they're not exactly doing so great in China. They have around 7.6 thousand stores and it is their second biggest market. They face some fierce competition that have outpaced them a lot, but with the economy not doing so well, that might also be a reason, but also do realize they are still growing their store count by pretty substantial amounts. They're also slow at making your morning coffee, but when you have everyone in the city descending upon your store, and people who are on the way, maybe in the subway, sending in a mobile order, this is a recipe for disaster. Opportunities. People feel like they're in a downturn. When that changes, maybe shopping habits are also going to change. They can still become that day bar, that third place, the place where you just go, chill, and relax. They have a rule, if they haven't really advertised that much, you are allowed to just go walk in there, sit down, get some work done. You don't have to buy anything first. And while making that known can hurt their sales, it can also bring a lot of people into actual Starbucks. And there are a lot of people who are sad, lonely, sitting in your chair or in your bed, hunched over in a hoodie, thinking, am I getting called out? Yep. If that's you, let this be a public service announcement. Go touch some grass, like immediately. You need it. Threats, discount coffee. If people don't want to spend $10 to get a grande drink, they don't have to. There's also a boycott due to allegations of supporting Israel, which they have denied, but I just have to mention it here. Multiple Starbucks locations are trying to unionize, and while they do offer a better pay package than most companies, people do have the right to unionize, and so they will. They're just gonna have to deal with that reality. People are home buddies. A little virus only helped to entrench that. So if they spend money to revamp the stores and no one leaves their house and goes to their store, it's kind of useless. They're also not even a little bit healthy. Let's look at the nutritional values of a caramel frappuccino. 54 grams of sugar. Now then, it's time to start addressing the future and the C-suite. The CEO was changed recently, and he does want to address the issues that I've mentioned here. Matter of fact, some of the solutions are directly from him. But first, pocket watching. The new CEO was Brian Niccol, and he joined in September of 2024. He's getting paid $113 million. They kind of nipped him from Chipotle after he worked there for about 6 years. He will be working hybrid. He lives in California and will commute to his HQ in Seattle around 3 times per week. How, you might be asking? Investors love him because during his stay at Chipotle, the stock price went up around 800%. But Starbucks is a lot more difficult of a problem. About 11 times more stores, bowls are kind of healthy and a decent value. Starbucks drinks, not so much of either. Also, how are you going to deal with an entire city descending upon you in the morning all at once? So this is by no means going to be an easy task. Based on what he's currently said, he intends on condensing the list of customization options, so that way the barista's job is going to be a little bit easier. He's also getting the time down to make a drink to under 4 minutes, as a target at least. Also, simplifying the pricing structure, which sounds like either A, making some stuff cost extra, and making some stuff that costs extra free, like they did with the types of milk. Or B, increase the price. But if they do that, I do wonder how many more people are just going to stop buying from Starbucks. Because here's my thing, when you're charging $10 for a cup of coffee, you could tell them that the beans were taken such good care of and they're so whatever. You can also charge a little extra for the luxurious logo, the brand, the Starbucks cup, maybe even the loyalty points. That definitely does help sales. But if you still want to raise prices, going back to that day bar idea where you could just relax, sit down, take a drink, get some work done, that's not a bad idea, but you no longer have the edge that you used to. And now almost every fast food spot has Wi-Fi. Now having Wi-Fi is just an expectation. Your seating vibe is very good, but also at the same time, to fill those chairs, we need to drag people out of their homes because people aren't really going to be outside nowadays. Safe to say they have a very difficult task ahead of them. If you want financial advice, talk to the financial advisor at your bank or look at the SEC's Guide to Investing. Don't look at me, I'm not a good resource. Like, sub, and goodbye, people.